Back to work. Okay. The little phony Stolen Valor, phony SEAL guy. His video came on by accident, quite accident, because I got it where don't play the next one, right? And so I'd be sitting there, I got this shirt from this guy, you hot chucks, if you wear the shirt or you know how to be. It's like, seriously? Why would I want a shirt that attracts stupid women that want to have sex with a murdering idiot that thinks he's heroic because he has to invent villains to be heroic? Man, these people are dumb. They're dumber than Leon Spinks, who lost his license and walked into a telephone pole. Yes, everybody who would prize fight for money is dumb, right? Healing hearts, healing minds. Electroshock therapy, okay. I guess it's better than being a cop, though. Well, a cop, people will shoot you and kill you, If you're going to beat the hell out of another human being for entertainment for money, at least you have an opportunity of, okay, at least I'm not going to get shot. Yeah, but you might die a slow, painful death with Parkinson's disease because of your brain damage. But I guess that's better than getting shot. Well, if you get shot, you get it over with. Yeah, that makes sense. I need electroshock therapy and some drugs from an idiot in El Paso saying healing hearts and healing minds. You're not healing hearts and or minds. Okay. The heart is a muscle that pumps blood to the mind so we can live faithful, loving lives, which means we do not, Plato's Republic, the police should not want to be the police, right? We should not have situations that require people have to be police. Okay, forgive debt, trespass, love, all eternal, faithful peace. Something goes crazy. It's like, what are you doing? I want her to stay and have sex with me. She don't want to stay and have sex with you. What happened? Well, we were having sex together, and I started having sex with the goat, and she wanted to leave. Okay. Bye. There's your new girlfriend. Bye. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Wow, that's loud. Okay, sorry. Who is that? I think it's probably Tommy Edwards. Or Ella Fitzgerald. It's Tommy Edwards. Okay. I was going to say it's either Ella Fitzgerald or Tommy Edwards. He's so damn good. I got to play this for Jerry. Well, because I know Jerry likes Tommy Edwards. And Freddie Fender redid this. And he hasn't heard Tommy Edwards. He's like, wow, Tommy Edwards is so good. Yeah, he's so good. The man is wonderful. Okay. Most people listen to him. That man's voice is wonderful. Yeah, it's really good. He has this very expressive storytelling voice that transports you to wherever he's taking you. Like Nat King Cole and Andy Williams and Johnny Mathis, right? Maria, right? Yeah, some people can just take you to a place that's like, I'm a stranger in, hi, Lenny Walsh, I'm a stranger in paradise, right? You made me leave my happy home, right? We also love Lenny Williams too. Are you sincere when you say you love me? Right, good stuff, right? But first, Lord's Prayer. Okay. Then we celebrate all the fun stuff that we had to do in hell. This man had in his 40s. He's like 49 years old when his liver was destroyed because of his harsh lifestyle of having to pay everybody's bills because he could sing real well. And the way they torture people with industry and use them as circus gimmicks to exploit them. Okay, Clyde McPhatter, 39. Lover, please come back. Which Billy Swan wrote. If you got a problem, don't care what it is. Yeah, he wrote that. He wrote that for Clyde McPhatter. Who wouldn't? Clyde McPhatter's wonderful voice. Billy Swan's a good singer. Clyde McPhatter, wow. That man's voice is honey, right? And so he sang lots of honey songs. That North Carolina kid could sing, right? He didn't sing, he sang, right? He don't sing, he sang. He could sing, right? And you'd be like, man, does she love me with all her heart? Should I worry when we're apart? It's a lover's question. I'd like to know. I'd like to know when she's not with me. Is she still true to me? I'd like to know when we're kissing, does she feel just what I feel? And how am I to know it's really real? I love him. I can't sing like him, but I try to mimic him because I love it so much. See why mom liked him so much. Okay? Oh, that's from CD. That's my kid's favorite. Yeah. My kids love this song. Yeah. Natty, Emmy, and Nate the Great. Yeah. They love this song. My kiddos. Yeah, they like that one a lot. Patrick was really into, he liked Usher a lot when he was young. And he did like the Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way. But who doesn't? That's a good song. And he liked that Scooby Snack song. I don't know, you look like you remind me of a girl from Abercrombie and Fitch. And I don't know who those people are. But I remember that song. Scooby Snacks and whatever, you remind me of a girl from Abercrombie and Fitch. He liked that. And I was like, who is that? I don't know. And I don't know. And I still don't know. Maybe I'll look it up someday. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. What do you think? Worst day of my life. What do you think? I like your sleeves. They're real big. Okay. Stupid Kip. You ate all the chips, right? Okay. So, don't you love him? He's funny. John Hader. Yeah, he's hilarious. Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah, my kids also like that movie very much. Yes, sir. But, Patrick's favorite movies. All the Disney movies, man. Doggy movies. What else? He was real, he was 9 when he left to go live with his mother when I married Amy. And everything went to hell. Oh man, you get 3 women in a house and have them all fighting over who's going to be the queen bee? Sorry, 4. Because Kay's the one that told Patrick, you shouldn't have to. Share your dad. After 9 years of having him all to yourself, you shouldn't have to share him with another child. And I was like, that's bullshit, Kay. How am I going to raise my son to marry a woman and raise children if he doesn't want to share his spouse with other people? That's retarded. And not all wonderful women come pre-single and hey, I just want to have your baby. Some women go and a guy lies to her and he's an asshole and she has a kid and she has to raise this kid to be a good person. And when someone that's really good like Lawrence Lewis Bowen or Lawrence Benegas comes up, because no, but I'm not saying that Martin was an asshole. No, these people in this town are assholes. Okay. Corey is a wonderful kid and he was raised by a wonderful man. His biological father was a loaded dick with the brain that turned left in Albuquerque and probably got blown out his head by Elmer Fudd and didn't figure it out till after he was dead. It was a dumb Negro. Okay, Corey, the drug dealer that Teresa was dating, and all the black women come up, my baby daddy, he ain't your baby daddy. He's a loaded dick that gets women pregnant. He's sleeping with that bitch, and what does that make you? And they get mad because they think I was black. I was like, girl, and they'd be calling up, they're thinking, what, another black man in that house? No. But a lot of people think it, like including Bob Marley, Malcolm X. So there's lots of people in the world that connect to me in prayer that don't know who the 1322nd Redeemer is because they're in the past that think he's a black man. Well, it's just the way I talk with folk, When me and Malcolm talked, we talked in a verbiage that was very, the way you talk to academics, the way he would talk to, what was that other guy's name? William Buckley and shit and all them, And he'd be talking like that with them. But when me and him talked, and we would talk about culture, and we'd talk, and we'd use slang, and we'd use it, and he's like, I know he shot for sure. Wow. The Pale Rider from the North, he's a light-skinned black brother. Because Bob thought I was. Okay. Bob Marley thought I was black. Malcolm X, lots of people that I talked to in the past thought I was black. Like all the people that called their Southwest Airlines. You look like, I don't look like Dr. Dre, girl. I look like Barry Gibb. Yes. I've been accused of looking like Barry Gibb. I had a mother and her daughter offer to have a menage a trois with me because they wanted to have sex with Gary Gibb from playing Jesus Christ Superstar on Broadway or whatever. If that actually happened, I don't know. But I'm like, no, it's okay. Bob, can we leave now? I don't want to stay. Every time I come over here, stuff like this happens. Okay. Last time I came over and you had me, April wants to talk to you to help us, have a better relationship. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I love my best friend. She sits there and I'm reading her diary and she has this talk about the two guys in the fix having sex together with a girl who always fantasized about having sex together with them while they're having sex together. And I'm like, no, me and Bob were joking about that. That shit ain't gonna happen. And then she's sitting there while I'm reading it going, this makes me very uncomfortable. I don't want to have sex with Bob. I never want to have sex with Bob. No. And I don't want to have sex with you, but Bob wants to have sex with you. And she's sitting there looking at me and goes, and girls never orally gratified you? They'd love that to do that for you. And she's looking up at me, leaning up, smiling while I have her diary reading it in my lap. And I'm like going, wow. Ezra Taft Benson is a fucking asshole. Pope John Paul was one of the biggest pricks in the history of the world. Okay? No Judah Krishnamurti and that asshole. No D.T. Suzuki and the other one. Son of a bucket. Prove it, persons. Prove you're worthy. And they had all that Catholic bullshit. Archangel Raphael came and he wasn't worthy and he didn't get it done because he wouldn't obey the Lord. First archangel of the apocalypse. Yeah, it's Raphael. And he falls from faith and grace and glory. He doesn't deliver on what Jesus asked him to do. That's what it says in the Bible. And then they thought I was Raphael. It's like, no, I'm second coming of Raphael. Dad's senior, I'm junior. They call me Earl, Lord. I know we're both sons of Mary, right? But Isaac Paul Benegas is his grandson, which makes, and I'm his son. But, they do that. There's nothing wrong with my dad. Everybody, just about everybody, okay, falls short of perfect faith when they're afraid of being murdered by their neighbors who will kill them over money. Just about everybody does. It happens to Ben Affleck. It happens to Matt Damon. It happens to Tom Brady. It happens to LeBron James. It happens to Shaquille O'Neal. It happens to P. Diddy. It happens to Leonardo DiCaprio. It happens to Danny Masterson. It happens to people that ask for money to watch the videos they make about Ashton Kutcher next, That motherfucker's best friends with Danny Masterson and P. Diddy. That man was having sex with 12-year-olds. Having them toss his salads and having their nuts bounce off of his forehead. And so, you're like, oh, yeah, and you want me to like and subscribe and share this so it will help you more than I ever know. You're an asshole. And then you have the audacity to talk shit about these people as if they're assholes. Okay? Stay the hell off the internet if you have nothing to say. To help contribute to the Lord's Prayer today. You're nothing like a good neighbor. You'll never be a good neighbor. You always sit there and do things for fuck money. How do you solve a problem like you? Right? So don't yell at people that, I befriended while I was being abused and they couldn't stand up with me because it was scary. Okay? I don't want my kids to be killed by the people at White Sands that are abusing you. I understand Fred. I like Fred. Matthew, he's not a much better kid than Matthew Young. Ask Doug Martin. That kid will do whatever it takes to draw other people to double and triple team him so his other teammates can make all the plays. One of the reasons why Javon had so many tackles and the other kid that went to U of A has so many tackles and got to go to U of A and make more money playing football was because Matt Young used to rush the edge and they had to double team him because he was so quick. I watched him. I sat and watched. Look at Matt go. They double team. Okay, now Javon's making the tackle. The other kid's making the Hodge. is making the tackle. Okay. And as well, it was a great tackle. It was a great tackle, but the reason he was able to make it is because Matt fired off the edge and drew two blockers. Yeah, he did it a lot. Okay. He didn't get the big numbers. He didn't get all that. He didn't get the records that his dad had. But his teammates, Javon Ferguson is one of the top tacklers in MNSU history. Okay. You don't do it all by yourself. Okay. You have Roy Lopez. You have Rodney Butler. You had teammates, right? Okay. And so you have teammates. And sometimes, Rodney Butler makes all these tackles because his teammates are in there directing the player towards the guy that's going to get the tackle because they're occupying other people, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a team game. It's a team sport. It's exercise so we can all have fun, right? It ain't no fun being abused. It ain't no fun being slowly murdered by perverts with poison and saying they're afraid it's worse than death. I'm Michael Aquino, and I support this message. I'm Antoine LaVey, and Satan will always be here, even if it comes in the form of a beautiful woman. What's a beautiful woman to you? Okay, Ruth, Khadijah, and Esther are beautiful women to me. Okay, but they're not here. Okay? Marianne's not here. Michelle's not here. When Michelle stood up and said, I'll help Earl, they had people impulse an idiot that it was by accident, but it wasn't by accident. They told me in Sierra Vista, we can program people like we're programming a video game. We can't get them to do anything they don't want to do. And they thought for sure, when I realized what happened, that I was going to go nuts. And I was going to go to Arizona, and I was going to kill John McCain. And I was going to kill all John McCain's business partners. It took a little time to calm me down, but she calmed me down. I talked to Michelle in person. She said, Earl, Papa don't take no mess. If you're the guy who's supposed to give us the ways of Jesus, how are you going to do that acting like John McCain and his fucked up little business partners? How are my babies and my grandbabies going to live the ways of Jesus on earth if you act like them? Right? So don't get an ego problem thinking Jesus is your God when the Lord today needs a woman that was murdered by your taxpayer dollars and your top tech to talk him out of becoming the imagination of directors that make Keanu Reeves movies. Right? I like it when I get grumpy. It's freaking gorgeous when I get grumpy. And look, there ain't nothing on my shirt. It's just dark blue. That's it. It's from Walmart. It's one of the Walmart. Just about all my clothes are just blank one color from Walmart. My sweats, my underwear are from Hanes. They're Hanes. They're the most comfortable and they breathe the best and they fit the best. So I get Hanes. But because I bought the athletic ones, but they're made out of a synthetic fabric instead of cotton, and I prefer cotton on my junk rather than it's my junk. I prefer cotton on my genitalia that produce Patrick Earl Parsons. So I won't call it junk because, like Steffi else told me, he was going to be my son whether he was dead or not. You cannot get King David's seed out of Herod's ball sack. All right? Don't tell me, okay, that Absalom is the product, okay, of Pharaoh. There's nothing wrong with Absalom. Absalom was a very good person, okay? Absalom was always protecting his father. Absalom was manipulated by tribal jealous women that were jealous of other women. You'll find that history doesn't always repeat itself, but you'll find it often rhymes, right? Samuel Clemens, who had to go by Mark Twain because people would try to kill Samuel Clemens if they thought he was talking about them and their books. Impugn my honor, Alexander Hamilton. Right? Do you understand? Okay. Aaron Burr, was that the one that shot him? You impugn my honor. You have no honor. But today, I just have to let technology collect all the evidence. I have to be right to your wrong. I have to be good to your bad. And I have to be truth to your lie. And it's not happening according to the CIA, but they're stupid. According to billionaires, trillionaire Uber techs, they are also stupid. Okay? Their technology is supposed to be more intelligent than people like me. You can't be more intelligent than people like me. But you can be more intelligent than the people that invented the technology that act nothing like David, Jesus, John, and me. Abraham, Melchizedek, Malachi, Muhammad, and Isaac. Okay? You can't be more intelligent than us. When you're humble and you're faithful and you submit to faith in the glory of God and that life is eternal and grace is infinite, you can't be more intelligent than that. You can invent quantum computing, and the only way quantum computing is going to reflect intelligence is to understand the same thing. But I don't know if quantum computing is capable of doing that because it's invented by people that are not capable of doing that, right? So I'm working on it. I'm working on it way more diligently and way more faithfully, more kindly and courageously and beautifully than M. Night Shyamalan's imagination through Haley Joel Osment and Bruce Willis. Nobody loves Bruce Willis more than me. Can you love Bruce Willis as much as I do? Can you love his wife and kids as much as I do? If you can do that, stand up for a Lord's Prayer with me. If you can't, shut the fuck up. Okay? And faithful love ain't part of you, so it's not on your side. I don't have a side. I'm faithful love. If you're a faithful lover, stand for faithful love with me. All right?